Alright, got my first 2 loads. I think I've got, let's see, 4, 8, 17 loads total. Beautiful morning. Let's get to it. Alright, so got my fabric today. Got my skeleton bucket. So let's get this unloaded. Another reason why I really like this bucket, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of grass. It's on this gravel, and since I'm going to refurbish the whole parking lot, this bucket's really good at separating that grass from the gravel, and it breaks it up, and it's going to be a lot easier to put a finish on it. So let's do a little scraping. There you go. That's a good example of some of the grass it pulled out without gouging the surface and messing everything up. So that's another thing I really like about this bucket. You see how that gravel, as you're backtracking it, it flows over and it kind of sifts it, and it does a good job of getting it smooth. You know, it takes out the bumps, the lumpiness. So another good property I didn't even think about with a bucket like this. You know, with a regular bucket, it's hard to see, and when you're back dragging, it'll pull that material, and it's kind of hard to see what your finish is. But this, you can see it flowing through it. I think it works out pretty good. Got me a new toy right here.
That's the Hero.
Yeah. VRS84. Big roller compactor.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
Sell these now.
Yeah. That's the best videoing I've ever done in my life.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
It's a professional setup.
I like that a lot.
I was hoping I could get close to the water and
Yeah.
like
Did a
Jurassic
little,
Park.
but
Ah, I got dirty.
I feel so bad about the chains being over there.
Well, people, that's the Paladin Vibra Roller made by Bradco, 84-inch diameter. I picked this one up for $10,300. Not bad. Oh my gosh, it's got a scratch. Pretty good. All right, let's get this paid for and get back to work. Alright, so here's how I install the geotech fabric. I like using fabric on parking areas. What I've noticed is when people use it on like gravel roads and stuff, as the gravel gets thin or whatever, and they try to regrade it, well, the rippers or anything will snag this and it tears it up. So, you know, unless you've got a pretty thick base, you know, I'd say at least 8-10 inches on top of it, I don't really recommend using it on a gravel road unless you're really going to put a lot of material on it, enough to where when you go to rip it and you stick your rippers down in the road a few inches, it's not going to snag this. But these are really good on parking areas. So you can see there's a couple little spots that looks like it's damp. So this is going to lay down on top of it, and then it's going to help keep your gravel separate from the any wet spots that build up. So I started using these stakes and just stab them in the ground, and you want about a 1 inch you want about a foot and a half overlay. That's just so you know, when you have this seam, if you have something really heavy, you know, you're less likely to separate that seam and push through. I would say the heavier your equipment, maybe have more overlap, but once you get a good base and everything's stable, you know, just roll it out. So what I like to do is just start rolling it. Just give it a stab. This is really gonna help. Like right now it's windy, we got a south wind, keeps blowing this flap up, and then I'll go get my gravel and I'll lay it on, and this helps. Like if I have to come in from the side, it's not gonna pull on it too much with the machine. So let's get the rest of these staked. Man, this thing is awesome. So what's good about this roller is I get all my gravel kind of loosely spread out, and I have 1-inch gravel coming in because this stuff is still a little too coarse. It's inconsistent on all the fines in it. So I have the 1-inch coming in. I'm going to spread a layer over here and then roll it in with that, and it'll vibrate it in. Look at that clay. Clay actually works really good with gravel. It's a binder. I just don't like it on top of fresh gravel. I like it under it, just not on top. Little clay pancakes. Alright, so let's take a look at how I like to do these gravel jobs with the 2.5 and 1-inch gravel. So as you can see how loose this gravel is? This is the big chunky stuff. It's just a coarse gravel. It's good for a base. It's not going to pack in very good. This is the 2.5 inch right here. So if you look at the way this parking lot is, this is where big trucks come in and they turn, and there's hardly any gravel in here. So I'm actually going to overpack this a little bit, get a nice 2.5 inch rock base with the 1 inch on top, so when they turn, the constant impact of the tires, it's going to hold up a lot better in the long run. So let's get some of this 2.5 out down, and then I'll show you what it's like when you put that 1 inch on top. Right there's the 1 inch. Now you can see this particular bucket full has more fines in it. Send this back truck. Of the smaller stuff, I mean, you can see the difference in rock size already. Now it's really windy, so a lot of my dust is going to be blown away. Dry, but when it rains, the water is going to act like a binding agent. Let's backtrack this a little bit. See how good that finish is looking already? It'll be nice and smooth. And that's really good if you're going to walk on this a lot. And all this smaller stuff is going to work its way in between the gaps. If you need a little more rock, just get a little more rock. All my powder's getting blown away. I need that powder. you can already see the difference. This side, I haven't added any of the 1-inch stuff. It'll look really good when I roll it out. But you can see that's pretty smooth, and that was just putting one little layer on it and just backdragging a little bit between that and that. So when I backdrag it, it's gonna settle everything in, and then I'll roll it out, and that'll give a nice smooth, consistent, and it'll actually kind of compress it just a little bit. And then when it rains, this stuff needs a little rain and moisture to actually set up. It'll get rock hard. No pun intended. All right, let's get the rest of this done. All right, done with this gravel job. Came out great. Got a nice little rain in. Really helped to settle all this in. I mean, you could just see how there's like really no wet spots. And even when you do have a slight depression like that, that fabric's really gonna hold it up. I think this is just I mean, this doesn't feel mushier at all. We had a pretty good rain yesterday, but water is very good on gravel. It does take a little bit to kind of set up. But, oh my gosh, that roller is amazing. And then they're gonna come in and tear it up. Came out really nice. They're gonna have plenty of room to work, move stuff around. They've got that really big forklift that, you know, the thing with forklifts, what tears up gravel faster than anything is when you're turning the wheels and you're not moving. I mean, turning the wheels in general is going to tear stuff up. but this will at least give them a good place to work from, because they're really concerned about the mud. And when it rains and stuff, they don't do much out here anyways. So really happy with this overall. A lot of gravel got put down. So that's good. All right, well, it's time to pack up all my stuff. Thanks for watching.